Hello! Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Hello! It's been a while. I've been busy, very, very busy. And in that time, obviously I've played through Dawntrail, but I didn't stream it for a variety of reasons. So I think it's time we more or less kind of get into that before getting into the roots of patch 7.5, which just dropped yesterday, actually. Quick disclaimer, the chat messages that you see off to the side here will only be seen if you're chatting on Twitch. I couldn't get it to work on YouTube, I'm afraid, so that's rather unfortunate, but it's all good. So without further ado, the way this is going to work is I'm going to talk about Dawntrail in more or less kind of bullet points based on the plot points that happened in the story and how I sort of felt about the expansion as a whole, because I feel like going into Dawntrail, I had a lot of misconceptions and a lot of different people saying different things in my ear, like, oh, it's bad, oh, Wuklamat's woke, oh, this and that, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's a bunch of stuff that people were saying in regards to the expansion that was admittedly painting my perception of what I was in for before I actually started playing it. So once I finally got around to it for a variety of reasons that I'll state here in a bit, I actually ended up coming to the conclusion that it wasn't really all that bad. But it's definitely got some flaws, so let's get right into it. Starting off, Dawntrail basically takes us to Tyrol, a South American-inspired continent that's pretty neat. I like Tyrol, despite some story stuff that we'll get into here in a bit, along with Wuklamat. And the reason we go to Tyrol is to help her basically secure the role of Dawn Servant via a competition that was going to be had in order to secure the her position as Dawn Servant after her dad, Galuja, I think it was? Yeah, Galuja. We go along with Alphino and I was about to call him something else. We go along with Alphino and Aaronville with Wook to Tyrol. And it's basically more or less kind of meant to be a story where we sort of kind of take the back seat as the big warrior of light stuff. We're not really saving any, like, we're not saving the world or whatever. We're just gonna chill. We're here in this little funny South American continent with her new cat friend, right? It's all good. Reminds me of Temples Back in the Mystic Ruins, yeah. Though, right away when I picked this up, as much as I like the scale of Tyrol, I could immediately tell that something with the storytelling was just off. There was a small bit of stuff in the story that started kind of jutting out to me as, now wait a minute, why are you saying that? Like, certain characters would just say certain things that are like, wait a second, that don't seem right. Some don't seem too right with what's going on here as far as some of this stuff. Also, it seems like we're losing connection with stream, but it seems to be back up now. But anyways, so right off the bat, the first thing I noticed was that when we got off the ship to Tyrol, well, actually before that, we get ambushed by a big old storm that we, the Warrior of Light, stop. All the while Wuklamat is having like seasickness and stuff like that, which, you know, not a good way to show character flaw, I suppose. But once we get off, the sailors, the pirates that are there shipping us to Tyrol compliment Wook on her sort of like, hey, you did so well back there, thank you for helping us. We're so sure of your skills that you will definitely become Dawn Servant. We bet on it. And it's like, wait a minute. It's like, wait a minute. Why are they saying that to her when I'm the one that did the stuff? Very suspicious, very suspicious. Oh well, I'll just keep that in the back of my mind for now. So we're introduced to Galuja, the current Dawn Servant, and obviously the fact that he is Wuklamat's, would it be right to call it stepfather, right? Stepfather would be the word. Wuklamat's basic adoptive father, more or less. Adoptive father, I think, is a better term. And afterwards, we're introduced to the contestants that will be running against Wook for the seat of Dawn Servant. Zoralja, Kawana. I almost forgot his name. I was literally just about to call him Green Graha. Kawana, and Galul Jaja is the other one that we meet. Each of them have different ways that they want to rule Tuliolol. Zoralja wants to rule via power. He feels that might is right, and he wants to expand Tuliolol's influence out to other countries and other continents. Basically, he's an expansionist. Then you have Kawana, who feels like Tuliolol is maybe too far behind and wants to bring innovation into the country at odds with the culture that is already in the country. So that's a way to put it. And then you have Galuljaja, who honestly is just in it for the chaos. He don't care about no stupid contest. He don't care about, winning things right. He's gonna cheat and lie. Well, mostly cheat. He's gonna cheat and do everything possible to win the competition by brute force, basically. Now, the thing is, I wouldn't have so much of a problem with this sort of plot structure if it was delivered in a more natural way, but the way that all of this is explained to you is verbatim the way I'm doing it to you right now. These things are simply told to you as each of the characters is sort of given a focus throughout this cutscene where they're introducing them. It's like, oh, that's Zoralja. He wants, to expand and, all this other stuff. Oh, that's Kawana. This is what he wants. Oh, this is Galuljaja. This is what he wants. And it's like, that feels just very blatant and obvious in comparison to what we've more or less kind of been accustomed to with the way that FF14 usually delivers its exposition, and a lot of its more diegetic storytelling, where they more or less kind of tell you in a more natural way how things happen in the story. So this already was feeling very bizarre, narratively speaking, because it felt almost like we were being treated like children in a way, where it's like, oh, these are the bad guys, pay attention to these guys, and it just felt very strange. So the competition to be Dawn Servant begins in earnest, where all 4 contestants are basically put against different challenges that will test their knowledge of Tuliolol and its people. To cut a long story short, and because I don't want to get too far into it, we basically do a bunch of menial tasks that effectively bring out your knowledge of the land in particular. So, for example, we have to deal with a group of Pelu Pelu who are, to my knowledge, a bunch of humans, or, let's just go with humans. A bunch of humans essentially wearing bird masks, but they have their own culture that deals with bartering, where everything has a trade value, more or less, to it, right? And so we have to more or less figure out how to deal with these people in order to get what we want. And what we want is a saddle for an alpaca. I think it was an alpaca, right? Yeah, it was an alpaca. This quest line is fine, but it does feel like you're doing a lot of just busy work for the sake of busy work, and I wasn't super thrilled about that. Wook basically goes after this and gets her own alpaca, while Zoralja basically proves he's the bestest by getting a golden alpaca, which is alright. Alright, sure. And then afterwards, we go to another settlement of, I think it's like a shoot of Vanu Vanu, the big ol' parrot bird people. And what we do with them is we basically have to figure out what their problem is, where oh, we've been very sad lately because we're trying to foster our crops and they just don't seem to be growing all that well. So it's up to us to figure out what to do. It's a good thing we have Alphino with us for this, as we try to more or less analyze what's going on. Alphino and Aaronville, I should say. So we more or less come to the conclusion that everyone's bad vibes is more or less kind of making the soil very unstable and unusable. And we figure that out and we throw a whole festival and we're like, hey, we're all happy now, and the soil starts to work. In comes Kawana though. He's like, all right, that's all fine and all that you did all this happy-go-lucky festival stuff, but I have a better idea. And he pulls out a little vial of something he brought from Old Charlian that basically reinvigorates the soil manually. Now, again, the whole thing with Kawana is innovation and progress despite culture. So what we did was interact with the culture of these Vanu people. And Kawana's like, yeah, fuck your culture. We're just gonna do this the old scientific way. And it's like, I mean, yeah, that works, but you know, you're kind of overstepping their culture, which is not a good thing. We then go into the crux of Dawntrail's big old competition, which is you have to cook tacos. Now, for this one, the objective is simple. Make a set of tacos of what was it called? Zibruk Pribil, I think is what it was. It's a really weird name to just say like tacos. It's like they're like very South American tacos. Now, we, the player, along with Wook, have to go on a whole like story quest on the history of the land that we're currently in and how the Mamulja were initially at war with the Hrothgar and all the native inhabitants of Tyrol and stuff like that until it's Golulja, right? Wuklamat's dad. Basically intervenes and peacefully settles the dispute between these two warring factions who had almost forgotten why they were fighting in the first place with tacos. The tacos were so good that they resolved everything. Okay, why not? To which Zoralja doesn't win this competition because he used the wrong, because his tacos just weren't any good. And even though Galuljaja ended up copying us, he missed the one key ingredient that was gonna make the tacos super good. And that would be a big old leaf from the area that he's from. How he didn't know this, I don't really know, but it just comes across as very silly, to say the least. Afterward, we're brought to our final task. I should note, all the while this is happening, Zoralja is like, Gululjaja, is actively fucking with us and like cheating and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point he's basically stolen 2 of our chaos gems. And I say that basically the little badges that you get for completing a challenge for this competition. And we, I think, managed to steal 1 back from him after fighting him. Well, I say we, Wook fights him, not us. We then go to the underground place in the actually, let me see if I can find the music for it. I think it's time we switch it up a bit. We don't. Oh wait, Emerald Underset. Was that Yaktel? Is that what it was? Was it Yaktel? A 2-tone song for a 2-tone location. Okay, yeah, it was Yaktel. It was Yaktel. Basically, we effectively go into Yaktel and we find out that the Mamulja specifically try to birth 2-headed Mamulja in order to basically win the right of succession through bloodline, because they feel like two-headed Mamulja are more fit to lead, or something to that regard, if I recall. The plot points are a bit vague on me, but essentially Galul Jaja ends up kind of like having a reverse high school bully arc, where he sort of learns the error of his ways, and he kind of confides in us like, listen, the reason I was so mean to y'all isn't because I want to rule or whatever, it's because I feel like I need to rule. And at this point, we've kind of sacrificed way too many of our kind in order for me to back down now. Because he literally shows you, I think, what's implied to be a gravestone of stillborn or basically dead baby Mamulja that are all buried in the water. As like a testament of this is what we're fighting for, this is what we're fighting against, to kind of revolutionize the way things work and hopefully bring about a better place for us. So Galul Jaja sort of becomes a friend after this, and we inevitably end up winning the right of succession after beating a figment, not a figment, but sort of like a simulacrum of Zoralja, right? Not Zoralja, of Galulja, the actual ruler. Afterwards, we're invited into the throne room, where after, Wook basically wins the right of succession, she's crowned the new Dawn servant, and she picks Kawana as her second in command, basically. We get to actually fight against Galulja Sr., where something sort of interesting happens. So Galulja Sr. has two heads. He's a big old two-headed Mamulja, but only his primary head works. The head of, I think it was Resolve? I think it was? Yeah, the head of Resolve is the only one that seems to be actually awake and fighting. And there's a point where he tries to do an attack, but then he almost calls himself out like by Resolve and something else, and then he looks over to the other head and goes, oh, right. And it's like, well, what's that all about? We then take a bit of a filler arc, and we go to Texas land. Let me find the... Oh, did I remove it from the mix? Ah, damn it. Well, whatever, I'll just keep it playing. We go to Texas land. Yaktural, I think is what it's called. No, it's Zaktural, I think is what it. No, Yaktel. No, Zaktural. Whatever. I forget what it's called. The names in. I will say the names in Dawntrail have been very kind of hard to memorize to memory. Memorize to memory? Yeah, that's how that goes. The names in Dawntrail have been very difficult to memorize just because of how complex they are. But that gets easier as we go on. Do not worry. We go to Texas land, where Erenvel is more or less from, and we visit a few of his compatriots there, only to find out that he's not too pleased to be there all of a sudden, and that people are now calling him Eleneshpia, even though he wants to be called Erenvel. So that's a bit funky. Oh well, whatever. We'll see where that goes. And then all of a sudden, a giant portal or a giant dome appears over Erenvil's hometown, just as we were about to go visit there, thanks to a train. We find out that there has been a time displacement, and that dome was opened by Zoralja after he yoinked the MacGuffin key to the Golden City. We now have to find a way to get in that dome, and we do so. Where's the song? Where's the song? Come on. Help me out here, YouTube. God. Right, there we go. Alright. We break through the dome and enter the 9th, or at least a fraction of the 9th that is bleeding over into the source. Now, for me personally, this is where Dawntrail starts to get real good. We enter the 9th, and we notice that a lot of the things that we're fighting, as well as a lot of the locations that we're going to, look really advanced. Like, technologically, we've never seen this kind of tech before, and it's incredibly advanced. So we're wondering, okay, what the hell is the context to this kind of level of tech being in here in the first place? Like, what's going on? And so as we go on, we end up fighting the boss, and the boss has like a thing on his head that after we kill him, he resurrects himself. And it's like, that's weird. Why did that happen? So once we're done with that, we meet Queen Sphene. And this is where, at least for me, I've heard of Sphene through memes, but it was super interesting getting to see this kind of plot line play out in earnest. So as we arrive in the 9th, we find out that the old city that was here, well, I say the old town that was here previously before the dome appeared, is still here, but it's incredibly aged. And as we talk to Sphene, we find out that the area that was here before has been here in this dome for 30 plus years, including its residents. One of which, I should note, was one of Ruklamat's caretakers when she was a child. She was like already getting up there in age when we initially saw her. So when we see her again, she is like old. Like old. And interestingly enough, we get to see firsthand how these regulators work, in the sense that when this nice old lady passes on, she dies, and then suddenly everyone wearing a regulator seems to forget her. It's nice and weird, real creepy too. The fact that you die and just everyone forgets about you. That's not good. So as we go into it, Sphene introduces us to the new endgame location that we'll be staying at for a long time. Welcome to Solution 9, and that's the background that's behind me. Big old cityscape with, like I said before, the biggest sort of technological leap that we've ever seen. And we're just looking here like, holy crap, this is a lot. Like, how is all this managed? And we find out that Solution 9 is basically upkept by a special mineral called electrope. Electrope basically generates electricity and harnesses electricity. However, in order to mine it, you need to actually go outside into the Levin-laden world that is the 9th. The 9th, because I might have skimmed over it, the 9th effectively is a world surrounded in lightning-aspected ether. Constantly. It is like constantly going out there. Now you might be wondering, well, okay, if you're gonna go out there and mine a material, but it's a world covered in lightning magic, how do you sort of like circumvent like possible like injuries that might occur? Well, you don't. The way that regulators work is, if you die, your soul is effectively uploaded into the cloud and replaced with an existing soul that gets recycled from those that have already died. Now, if you recall, in Endwalker, that is not exactly how we were told things are supposed to go. When people die, the body decays, the body stays behind, but the soul is put back into the light. Well, to use FF7 terminology, the soul is put back into the life stream where it is cleansed of its memories and reborn as a new person, effectively, right? That's not how that works here in the 9th. And already we're having many issues because people are just, dying willy-nilly and just respawning immediately afterwards. It's very, very bizarre given what we're used to. But that also leads into question, like, wait, so what's happening with the people that don't wear regulators? What's happening with the people that don't, conform to this way of life? Well, people remember them, right? The whole point of regulators seems to be to avoid remembering somebody. You don't want to linger on someone's loss in order to just keep on going with your life, right? But isn't, you know, Dawntrail, again, Dawntrail's second half, in my opinion, asks a lot of very interesting questions that that Endwalker sort of gives you a different response to. It's all different ways of handling life and death, and I really, really enjoy that. But as you kind of sort of come to understand, Solution 9 isn't all that it's cracked up to be, and the fact that souls are basically running out and is actively disrupting the way that things work here, along with the secondary plot point that Aaronville's missing his mom. His mom was caught up in all this, and we meet his mom, but his mom is now like a marketable robot thingamajiggy. So that's interesting. We basically find out that souls are uploaded into the cloud. So what's to say that, you know, Aaronville's mom wasn't uploaded to this robot thingy? So after sort of doing some digging, we find out, okay, we need to put a stop to this. This is not right. This is not okay. It's time to do our job and disrupt society once more. So we go into living memory, where we are met with Aaronville's mom, and she basically asks us to do the unthinkable. She wants us to shut everything down. She understands that even as a kind of culmination of her own memories, she is dead. And everyone else in living memory is dead. And by extension, this whole place is just kind of a facade. Sort of like a living memory of people that used to be alive. And that's not okay. It's not an appropriate way to sort of remember someone, right? It's very artificial. In fact, actually, it mirrors, do you remember back in Endwalker when we told Emmett Selk what he had done with Amarot? He was disgusted. He was like, what do you mean that I recreated a figment of Amarot and its people? Like, that's sick. That's insanely disrespectful to, like, their memory. I would never do that. So I can't imagine what he must have thought, possibly knowing that something like this existed in Terral and on the 9th, given that the Asians were well aware of a lot of this stuff, right? But as we shut down each of these pieces of living memory, Aaronville has to sort of come to terms with the fact that his mom is not only dead, but he's not really had a proper chance to say goodbye to her in the way that he'd like. All of it's been just happening so fast, and that he's had to very quickly accept, not only is my mom dead, but she's right in front of me as a robot, but also now she's not a robot, she's actually her, and what she's asking me to do is basically shut her down. On top of this, we find out that Sven's ultimate goal is to, well, effectively harvest souls from the living. Not from the 9th, of course, but from people and other reflections using a gizmo that she has that strangely seems to react to us, much like Azem's crystal. So it's like, what could that all be about? So, after shutting down living memory, we come face to face with Sven, where we effectively shut her down and we finish everything to do with living memory. Where effectively, once coming back out of living memory, and let me see if I can actually get this on screen real quick. Give me a second. Well, actually, this should do just fine. Hang on. Pop out. Hang on. I'll be sure to edit this all down, by the way. Obviously, I'm doing this mostly for stream purposes, but let's see. Create new window capture. There we go. You effectively get what very much feels like sort of a liminal space type thing. Hang on. Hit the screen. There we go. It almost sounds like if you were to visit like an empty mall, right? Or like a mall that doesn't really see much people and you just hear music faintly in the background. Needless to say, very sad. Going back to this area after everything is said and done, given that, you know, we're the ones that pulled the plug here. It's very disheartening to say the least. But that's not to say that it's all bad. Because for all intents and purposes, this essentially forces the people in Solution 9 to live on their own accords and without relying too much on regulators. Fortunately, now we're getting into post-patch. And what does post-patch deal with? Enter Calyx. Calyx was one of the attendants of the actual Queen Sphene back in the day, and he was waiting for the, let's call her AI Sphene for the time being. Sort of like a carbon copy of what Sphene is supposed to be, but not really, right? Calyx finally makes his move, and the first thing he does is try to kill us with a lightning bolt. A simple lightning bolt, so obviously it didn't work. We're built a little more different than that. Calyx basically tells us that he doesn't want people to be shackled to mortal bodies. He wants people to live on endlessly, as, well, endless. As basically just ever-living people. He does not want people to be basically living in these like fleshy human bodies forever. So his goal is to basically make everybody an endless, and if that means killing everybody, then that means killing everybody. And in order to do this, obviously he's not doing it on his own. He's got another figment of Sphene, another AI Sphene that is far, far less nice than she was previously. But thankfully, we find out that the actual Queen Sphene has more or less been in cryostasis for, what was it, 500 years? Something to that effect? And we basically work with her to bring down Calyx, in which we do so in a very satisfying fashion. In fact, give me just a second. Give me just a second real quick. I'm pretty sure I have the video up of ages ago, back when I was, because I unfortunately didn't stream Dawntrail in full, but I did record some bits of it, and I think one of the parts that I did record was that bit with Calyx. So give me just a second. Is this it right here? This is 28 seconds. All right, I'm gonna assume this is it. 38 seconds. Okay, it's this one. Hang on. Pause. I gotta make sure it all works. Let's see. Fit the screen. There we go. Let me know if y'all can hear it or if y'all can't hear it. All right, here goes. Oh boy. Oh, you can't hear it? Damn. Here, I thought it was working. Hang on. Oh, that's probably why. Hang on. Where is that being routed to audio-wise? Oh, you said you can hear it. My bad. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, needless to say, I was a very happy camper when I got to see that. It was just so cool seeing our character actually do class animations. It was so cool. But anyways, with Calyx defeated, at least for now, we try venturing out a little further into the 9th, or at least more more lightning aspected Aether. Well, I keep saying that more lightning surrounded areas, basically, in which we meet we go to a location that seems to have been working just fine. Well, I say just fine, but they have their occasional issues. But we go there and we basically help stabilize the area, only to basically have to do Dawntrail. Which, by the way, cool-ass boss. Having now played a little bit more of Final Fantasy IX, I really enjoyed hearing the mix of Dawntrail that was available for that, so that was real cool. But we also find out that Calyx isn't exactly dead, but he's scared of us, and that's good. But, on top of Calyx, we also find out that there is another Ascian at play. One of the Sundered ones, one of the ones that isn't exactly a whole hog with the whole Zodiark stuff, and they've been plotting behind the scenes. So yeah, that's right, we're back to Ascians, everybody. Calyx, now taking the form of a stuffed animal, is basically plotting alongside her, and we will see where this goes, and that leads us into current content with 7.5. Now obviously Evercold has been announced since then, so we'll have plenty to talk about after the fact, but this will make for a good video where I can more or less kind of split it and post it on its own with discussion and stuff like that. But that being said, I think it's time we cease the yapping and get down to it. So let's switch over to the other screen and get right down to Dawntrail, shall we? All right. We are here in Tural. So, obviously I haven't played the game much since, I want to say 7. What was it? 7.4? But let's go ahead. In Fate's Footsteps is the next quest. So that is in Solution 9. Donning the trail just a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Me when I don my trail. Alright, so right... Actually, you know what? We're in Cyberpunk land. Let me put on a more appropriate glam. Which, by the way... I kinda dig the new glam system. I'm so happy that they've updated this the way they have. I'm eager to see what this new story brings. Alright. You know, it's funny because there's still a lot of stuff that I've got to do, content-wise. Your stream setup and model looks amazing, by the way. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This stream took me a lot of effort. But I'm glad the efforts are going to good use. To kind of touch on it a little bit just before we get started, I have been wanting to stream more often. It's just that I've been very, very busy with commission work and whatnot, and it's just been very. It's been trying, but I've been attempting. Anyways, it's Best Boy Graha. He's here. One fare thee wells can ease the sting of partings as we come to terms with an absence of a not soon forgotten. To tell those we hold dear what they've meant to us and to wish them the best. We should seize that chance whensoever we can. And it's Kryl. Fate's Footsteps. Here we go. I trust you were able to get plenty of rest. Good. I thought we might take a moment to ponder our next steps and perhaps reflect on our recent journey. I must admit, my thoughts often drift to the Mist Continent and our stay in Treno. It was heartening to see the Malala prosper despite the odds, and my own flesh and blood strive in that wrecked landscape. Oh, that's right, that was a whole other thing I forgot to mention. The Lalafels may originate from someplace else that the Lalafels may just be like Shardwalkers, if that makes any sense. They may just be from another reflection entirely in where they come from, and that includes Kryl. Sphene was eager to restore diplomatic relations, and I have no doubt that Alexandria will provide much-needed support for their neighbor. I too shall do everything I can to aid my home away from home, my wonderful welcoming family included. For the time being, though, I'd say we've accomplished all within our power. I suppose that just leaves the matter of preservation's research. It is yet unclear how Calyx learned the techniques he used to summon his Dark Primal. That's right. Calyx found a way to summon a Primal without a proper ritual. Well, to summon a Primal from scratch, he basically created a new Primal based on just vibes, I guess? He vibe coded. And yet there is likewise much that remains unknown about the key. Let us hope that Shale's efforts bear more fruit. Can you hear me? Shale and I have been reviewing the decrypted files and uncovered some intriguing details. Would you care to join us? We'll be with you right away. Excellent. Shale seems rather eager to speak with you all. Come and find us in the Deuteral lab when you're ready. Uncanny timing indeed. Let us make for the containment complex. Alright, let's go. But to sort of like talk about it a little bit more while I'm getting my way over there. Just to briefly talk a little bit more about Dawntrail and like my own personal thoughts of it outside of like a summary. I felt like the Solution 9 stuff was definitely the strongest part of Dawntrail, and that all the stuff, almost everything to do with Tural itself, unfortunately just didn't really land for me. A lot of it just felt very monotonous. A lot of it felt very kind of, very, how do I put it? Drab. Very kind of roundabout with what we were doing. Like, I got the point of what they were trying to get across, like, several quests ago, and you're still here trying to hammer the point in. It just didn't really sit right with me. As opposed to the Solution 9 stuff, which actually felt like they were properly doing something with the story. Alright. As much as I love the Sibley Cat Girl, her home was a big, very minorly interesting slog. Yeah, that's another thing I want to touch, because I feel like... Well, no, it's good. Wook Lamont is not the problem in Dawntrail. I don't think Wook is that big of an issue in Dawntrail. I think she can come off as a little bit, like, overly bubbly, right? But I don't mind Wook one bit whatsoever, and I feel like everyone kind of clamoring on to her because of, oh, you know, we're not focusing on the Warrior of Light, we're focusing too much on Big Cat Girl, she's replacing us, oh my god. It's like, that's not the problem with Dawntrail. Wook is not the problem that Dawntrail has. The problem that Dawntrail has is the first half's pacing and a lot of what it's asking you to do, coupled with just very uninteresting locations, all things considered.
Ah, you're just in time for a progress report. The decryption is finally complete. As we suspected, the data represents a partial record of Preservation's research documents. A quick scan of the files, however, failed to turn up the information Y'shtola was after.
Indeed. No mention of the Ascians, or primal summoning techniques for that matter.
Interesting.
While Calyx doubtless received instruction from someone possessed of such knowledge, there was naught to identify this benevolent mentor,
I would imagine, yeah, Ascians love to stay out of sight.
I am,
Also, can I just
however,
say...
pleased to say that we found several reports
Oh,
concerning
wait a minute,
the
wait a
key.
minute.
We know the key is used to open paths between worlds, and was a treasured relic of the Milala. And just as the Milala were unable to return after reaching the Mist Continent, so too was Preservation unable to gain a mastery of the prize which had passed into their possession.
Mm-hmm.
The data suggests that a particular formula or procedure is required. A process which Calyx appears to have understood to some degree. Yet the key proved fickle. Perfectly replicating conditions was no guarantee of success. And even when they did manage to generate a modest portal, the destination was never the one they expected.
Almost like a subspace jump.
Reports of practical screen
well, I say
frustration,
subspace jump, but like they have
describing the
coordinates,
experience
but...
as being dragged around by a traveler picking roads without rhyme or reason. Serves them right, I say.
It's like a subspace
After
portal
much
without
trial and
coordinates.
error, Preservation began to experiment with external actuation devices for the key. Striving to maintain a stable pathway to a chosen location, they conceived of the technology that forms the gate to the Golden City.
So, their tribulations ultimately afforded them control of the key, albeit in a limited capacity, which, of course, explains why they were able to instruct Zoralja in its use, thus enabling the unprecedented feat of transferring Everkeep and its environs to the Source.
They basically use the key to bring over the ninth into
After
the Source.
Endless Fiend took the key unto herself, she opened pathways to other reflections in her hunt for ether, did she not?
The Milala merely used it to facilitate their exodus. To think what the key has now wrought in different hands.
This key
For all
is
we
going to
know,
be the key to the next expansion, I
actuation
bet.
device augmented the key's power beyond its intended scope. Were your goal to plunder whole worlds of their ether, a tool designed to simply transfer people would likely be insufficient.
Shale, I don't suppose you would be able to remove the actuation device.
The machine made for that very purpose is still functional, thankfully. It shouldn't be a problem.
What do you think? We don't even know how the key works. If the device is somehow interfering or amplifying its capabilities, I believe we ought to remove it.
Wait, have I gotten to touch the key yet? I don't think I have. Oh no, wait. Never mind, I just had it in my back pocket this whole time, I guess.
Give me a moment.
Oh, well, wait, no, because that's not the actual key, is it? That's the container. So that's the actual key. What you seeing, Y'shtola?
My word.
Y'shtola?
This is the first time I've beheld the key in all its unobscured glory.
What was that?
The sheer density is extraordinary. 'Tis akin to the structures we saw beneath the Tempest.
Yeah, but...
Now that you mention it, the ornamentation is reminiscent of Amarot.
Oh shit, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Have you noticed anything since the key has been in your possession?
It glowed when we were fighting Sphene, but that's about it.
You're suggesting the key has some connection with Azam?
Oh, absolutely
A
it
plausible
does.
theory, although one we are yet unequipped to prove.
My apologies.
Pick up the phone.
Hello? Yes, this is Cryo speaking. That was Ojika with a message for us.
An urgent matter?
The Chocobo's extended warranty?
I'm not altogether sure. Tataru requires our counsel, and hoped to call upon us in person at the Baldessian Annex.
Oh, we're going back to...
Though disappointed we were not present, she appeared content to wait until our travels brought us back to Sharlayan, insisting that it did not merit our immediate summons.
Going back to old
Her
Sharlayan.
tone suggested otherwise, however, and Ojika felt compelled to contact us directly.
Also, can I just say...
The time has come for another journey across the Sot.
Can I just say, they've been getting really good about not using their default library of music for cutscenes.
You'd best go. Though I'll not deny that I'll be sad to see you leave.
That's another way of me saying I don't want to hear machinations ever again.
Oh, Shale. I can't even begin to thank you for all you've done. We will be
Well, I guess
forever
with this we're
indebted to
officially
you
just
and
leaving
your
Tyrol,
revered
huh?
colleagues.
The debt is ours. We'll never forget the sacrifices you've made for us, for Alexandria. In the meantime, I shall keep sifting through the data. You'll hear as soon as I find anything of note.
Actually, I should like to stay here a little longer, if you don't mind.
Aw, Stoll is staying.
You are most welcome.
And might I borrow the key for a while? I wish to study it further. With the utmost care, I assure you.
Alright, Stoll, just don't fall in.
Well then, shall we be off? Ojika will be expecting us.
Onward to old Sharlayan. What secrets might this key hold? Find out today on Final Fantasy XIV 7.5 Trail to the Heavens. Alright, let's go. Is it? But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing okay today. Nice to be back streaming. Where is... Baldusian Annex, that would be over there. By the way, there is a lot of side quests that I haven't done around Old Charlian just yet. I probably should at some point. I know me and a few friends want to actually sit down and do a lot of this stuff at some point. Just a matter of actually finding the time to organize it all. It's a Cheel! Welcome back, and what a pleasure it is to see you, Colin. Thank you for contacting us, Ojika. We came as soon as we could. Of course, I felt it prudent to give... of course, I felt it prudent given how troubled Tataru was. Your concern is as much appreciated as it so... God, read. Your concern is much appreciated. As it so happens, we'd reached a convenient juncture in our investigation. Cheel and Ishtola have matters well in hand, leaving us free to make this trip. That's a relief to hear. Now, let me fetch Tataru for you. Why don't you take a moment to relax in the main hall? I'm sure you're all still fatigued from your journey. Sure thing. Let's wait. I'm eager to see where this goes.
Planning your next journey?
Oh no, just reminiscing. Thinking back to when you bought this map, and how you all encouraged me to make the voyage to Tural.
I'm sure some would regret I'm sure some would say I regret the journey to Tural.
As if you need ask.
Oh, damn!
Come back.
It almost felt like Tataru slammed those doors open. It's been a while. It actually has.
I'm so glad you're here.
Ojika contacted us. He intimated that you were rather concerned. Come to think of it, Alphino said he and Alize would pay you a visit upon their return. Have you not seen them?
Oh no, they were here. I was regaled with many a tale of your Turali adventures. It was only once they departed for Garlemord that the rumors came to my attention.
Rumors?
Rather alarmingly, void-sent sightings seem to be on the rise across the star.
Oh shit.
I was reluctant to bother you with mere hearsay, especially when you had more pressing matters to contend with. But earlier I received a confidential report from the Grand Company of Eorzea. It's as if a mighty dam has been breached, flooding the land with foul creatures.
Huh.
For a blessing, most nations have managed to keep the invaders in check, and casualties appear to be minimal thus far. Though the same cannot be said for those regions with a deeper connection to the void. Their fissures continue to manifest without end, putting countless innocents in danger.
A deeper connection to the void. Garlemald is the home of the Reapers, is it not?
Yes, it is.
It is. Alphino and Alize were there when the trouble began, and have since sent word that the situation has taken a dreadful turn.
Short while earlier in Tertium.
Thus concludes the abridged account of our time in Taral. Now I shall leave you with the words of the late Dawn servant, Galul Jajar. Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship. A notion that rings true for Eorzeans no less than it does for the diverse peoples of Tuliolal.
And for Garleans as well. Even sharing something as simple as a local dish
Oh,
can
God.
pave avenues of understanding.
The tacos that solved racism. They're back.
To forge new bonds together.
But this is good. This is good. This is the kind of stuff that the Garleans need to hear, admittedly.
Thank you for sharing your tale. Better they hear it firsthand than endure my clumsy retelling.
Also, they really are making use of the new depth of field stuff that they do with their camera work. It's really good.
Here in Garlemald.
We all have the capacity to affect change. Our time in
Euless.
Taral taught us that much. And now that we've returned, it's time we rolled up our sleeves and got back to work.
Oh, did they update Alizé's rapier model
I've
there?
already sent missives to the other nations, informing them of our Alexandrian friends. I also intend to notify the Garlean community officially. If both sides are amenable to the proposition, we shall gladly assist in establishing
You know,
diplomatic
the
relations
cutscenes this
with
patch look
Alexandria
super
and
good. They've
Tuliolal.
clearly updated a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make the cutscenes far more immersive.
Thank you. But are you sure you've recovered from your journey? It sounded like you've hardly had time to catch your breath.
Sir! Lapis Manalis is overrun with void scent. We've sustained heavy civilian casualties.
Oh shit.
What?
Sotium Squadron reporting in. We're under attack. Void scent appeared out of nowhere and ambushed us during a routine inspection. Damn it. Is that another fisher? No, no, no! Ah!
My comrades are under attack. We have to do something.
We are under fluffing attack.
Come on!
Alright, so it seems like we're gonna be right away dealt with
The community is ill-equipped
with a
to
with a
defend
dungeon
themselves
then.
against such a threat. Even with the aid of the twins and the Ilzabard contingent, they face daunting odds.
You know what that
We
means.
shall leave for Garlemald immediately.
Thank you. I was able to contact Thancred and Urianger too. They're already on their way. With any luck, you'll be able to rendezvous with them on arrival.
Alright, time to go. Also refurbished. All right. And just like that, we find ourselves faced with another emergency. Fortunately, there is yet time for us to make a difference. Let's make haste for the tertium. Let's go. everyone is here. Hold on. Let me put on a more appropriate glam for this. Oh man, that works. Colin, you made it just in time. That drip?
You picked a frosty spot for a reunion.
Also, yeah, Orion J and Thancred were just wearing the drip.
Tataru sent word that you were coming. Full glad am I to see you all. Though I'm afraid this is no time for pleasantries. Planar fissures have opened up across Garlemald, inundating the region with void scent. As far as we can ascertain, there are 2 focal points of their assault. The Ilzabard contingent are combating the threat in Lapis Manalis. Although they have suffered casualties, they appear to have the upper hand.
The Cridium is where we're heading then.
They should. The many talented...
Oh, well, I mean, Urion J is just wearing the stuff that he was wearing back when he was Urion Gent.
Any fissures they encounter.
Which leaves the second focal point, the Clutium. Eulus and the Garlean community are attempting to mount a counterattack, but are struggling to cope with the sheer number of void scent. They've fallen back to the north of the Imperial Palace. Can you lend your aid in securing the area?
Can I?
With your blessing, I would tend to the wounded returning from battle.
Of course, Kryl. Thank you. The quickest route from here to the front is via the train tracks. Once we arrive, we can support the Garlean forces as we make for the fissure in the munitions factory.
Clidium now access the Clidium? The place now accessible. Like always, we're gonna do with NPCs first.
Our fates are not yet sealed.
As much as I'd like to have Thancred. God, Thancred never gets to hang out with me. Let's do it. Just a casual reminder, right? Of... Man, that tower, man. Also, unironically, I think this will be our first time actually seeing a Garlean city. Oh, those are some scary looking void scent. Oh, this mix is already good. Alright, let's see if I remember how to do this. Nope. That's my AoE. That's right. I'm like struggling here. I need to get back into it. I will say, having just done that, I am very eager for when they eventually do add the whole evolved modes things, because as a tank especially, you really feel that 2-minute rotation thing. Want to vary it up sometimes, you know?
You're a sight for sore eyes.
Fucked up my rotation. Also, not for nothing, in late level content, I have been finding way more use of, what's the move called? Living Dead? I can do so many more heavy pulls that way.
Appreciate the help.
There we go. Where to next?
We'll handle things from here. Take care of the Fisher.
Let's go. First boss. Okay then. Huh. Ah, okay, I see. Slightest move will guarantee a tomb. What? But it wasn't moving! This thing cheated! Go. Bonus gain for moving targets.
Behold the heavens' brilliance!
I see. You have to complete. Yeah, auto attacks count. Damn. All right. Alizé, I missed you. That's done. Oh, wait, wrong way. What's in here? Pragmatic visor of beaming. Ooh! Nice! And I can wear it just like a hood? Hang on. Go on. I actually really like that. That looks really cool. Oh, that was a bit of lag.
I may?
You may, Graha. Okay. Oh, this one. That's down. See, you didn't need yellow paint to lead me over here. Oh, there's one that got lagged behind. Over here. I'm putting on Living Dead just in case. Big old spider enemies.
Radiant starlight, become my blade!
Have you done any Extreme or Savage encounters to expect? No, but I want to. I've never been much of a raid bro, I say raid bro. I've never been much of a raid person, honestly. Though the biggest thing with me has just been wanting to organize it with peoples. I've been trying to for a while, but I just haven't had the time. Whee! Oh shit. Whoa, that's a big boy. Oh shit. Oh. Sorry, I was reading chat. Yeah, but I want to do more extreme stuff. I see. Apologies for the lack of commentary, just focusing. There we go. Rabbit is locked the hell in, yeah. Ooh, nice. Oh, now we're getting in. These aren't void sent. Here we go. Savage aim materia. Not that I'm gonna have to learn how all that stuff works if I am gonna get into like the more harder content. We're in the tubes. Oh, there are the fissures. They're all reapers. At least they're all taking the form of a reaper. Let's keep walking. Laughing? Which one of you schmucks is laughing? Not laughing anymore, are ya? You look like a Warframe. Like in an armored Warframe, if that makes any sense. But also, what was his name? Wait, did we just rail grind down here? He looks like the man in the wall, right? Yeah, he kind of does. He's got a voice. I see puppets. Saw puppets. Hello. Glad to see you. It's been a while. Ah, damn it. How's FF14 treating you? Pretty good, pretty good. So far this new patch has been pretty fun. This dungeon's really, testing out my, keep moving. I'm gonna assume that thing just means keep moving. Yep. I do like how FF14 effectively just turns into, wait. No, I don't have enough mana for it. Fuck. Ooh, that hurt. Well, that hurt like a motherfucker. Holy shit. Man, am I happy I have Graha with me. Hype for Evercold? Yes, I am. I'm very excited for Evercold. I see, they all have their own thing. And now we split. I saw that. That said rubbish disposal. Rubbish. Ah shit, no. Didn't quite make it. Keep moving. Jesus Christ. That's a proper tank buster. But you're dead now. That was neat. That was a neat fight. There you two are. What does this look like? Praying Magitek Curious Offending. I kinda love it. That actually looks really cool. Alright, let's see where the story goes from here. Nice Dark Souls reference, bro.
I think that's all of them.
We need but seal the fissure to prevent further ingress.
It's over. I can only imagine the extent of the damage were it not for your aid. On behalf of the Garlean community, I thank you for all you've done for my people, for my home.
I shall close the fissure post-haste.
Wait! If you do that, I will be trapped here.
Huh?
You risked your life in vanquishing the creature. Would you at least let me bear the burden of deciding its fate?
Also, hi, fish. Welcome back to Twitch. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while.
Go back to the void.
Oh, as I fish the game, who definitely knows this game.
Your kind have entered this realm before, some seeking death that they might rejoin the life stream. But you would choose that dark, deathless place?
I don't think they've...
The wind is fresh and pure, untouched by darkness. Perhaps it won't be a blessing to meet my end in such a place. But I cannot yet bear to part with the void. If only the winds would blow there, as they do here.
When's the last time FF14 mentioned the livestream by name? It's been a while.
To return, to see my home unsullied, as it once was.
The livestream is always, like, it's always been in FF14, but they've always referred to it as, like, the Ethereal Rift.
All too well.
The Ethereal Sea is what they've always referred to it as. I know it's, like, basically the same thing, but calling it outright the livestream. Curious.
Forsake this aggression. Go back to the void and devote yourself to its restoration. I have a friend, Zero, who hails from your home. She and her companions
Hey, Zero mentioned.
light into the void from another world blighted with imbalance. I hear their efforts have already met with some success. One day, they'll drive the darkness from the void. I'm sure of it.
This form is imbued with the will of all those I've consumed.
My buddy, same. I relate.
We shall return to our world and seek out this Zero. Then we shall see if there is truth in your words.
She won't disappoint you. That much I guarantee.
Away you go, Warframe. Get out of here. Also, that is a really cool headpiece design, just basically like a clutching hand. Yeah, bro looked like a Warframe.
Bravo! I think Zero will approve.
So we making friends with Void Sense now?
Oh,
Indeed, that was truly heartening to see.
Understanding begets fellowship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I might lead by example.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
Well then, shall we head back?
Warframe stream when? I'm not! Oh jeez. I'm not super into Warframe like some of my friends are. I'm just not really super into it. Also, is the Tower of the Baby still in Garlemald? Tower of... Yes it is. Oh, okay. Reports have been trickling in. By all accounts, the Ilsabar contingent was successful in containing the threat on their front. Were Void sent to attack in such numbers as just as we were finding our feet? I daren't imagine the consequences had you not provided such timely aid. On behalf of my comrades, thank you. Thank you all. Alright, let's talk to Thancred. Also, yeah, just for the record, I am multi-streaming on YouTube and on Twitch.
Have contained the threat on their front. Things appear to be under control for the time being. Though it remains unclear why the fissures opened up in the first place. According to Tataru, similar ruptures are occurring across the star.
One thing is clear, however. The phenomenon is not without pattern. The tendency for fissures to emerge is pronounced in regions deeply connected to the void. Places where the barrier between the two worlds is at its thinnest.
The design, oh, Thancred? Yeah, the guy with the gunblade. Yeah, it's cool.
I fear there may be a place in far greater peril than Garlemald.
Oh?
Though it hath since been sealed, you will recall there is a great void gate that we ourselves had cause to open.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's right.
Instrumental in our bid to reunite Vritra with his sister and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
I remember Urianger.
Oh gods. The moon.
Time to go to the moon! Going to the moon!
With our attention fixed upon planar fissures, I failed to consider this vulnerability. All other paths unto the void are but pinpricks in the veil compared to that great lunar rift.
And that rift might be yawning open as we speak.
Yawning.
We better hurry.
Yawning open.
Let us make for Bestway's burrow. I dare say the Loporrits are well aware of current events.
We gotta go help our Benui friends.
We ought to have Kryl join us once she finishes tending to the wounded. I shall likewise contact Y'shtola. Her knowledge of the moon's void gate is second to none.
Alphino, Alize, please do what you must to keep our world safe.
We'll be back before you know it.
A quick word, if you will.
Oh?
I'm not sure whether you'll run into Zero during the course of all this, but if you do, would you give this to her? Emergency rations, in case of a protracted battle. Can't imagine she's eating all that well in the void.
Sure, I'll deliver your care package to her.
She likes dumplings.
Into the void pocket it goes. You have no idea. I just got rid of like 500, like... I just got rid of like 500 buckets of paint. The Banuis are running!
Doomed, I say!
Oh no!
Given thy panicked state, I presume the Loporrits too are beset with void scent.
We're gonna die!
Oh, what sweet relief it is to see you all! Yes, void scent, and lots of them! They suddenly came pouring forth from the crater!
That would be from the crater.
I had dearly hoped to find my worries unfounded.
For some unknown reason, the void gate seems to have partially opened. Living Ray dashed off to activate the brands and halt the fiend's invasion. But she hasn't come back, and we've since lost contact.
I suggest we make for the brands without delay.
Let's go. Ah, I'm gonna die! Onward. Oh, I guess while we're doing this. Yes, I bought the Final Fantasy VII bike. I had to. Those are just bombs? Oh, these were voice sent. There we go. Go. Also, that guy looks cool as hell. Livingway, I think I saw her heading southwest, towards the droning brand. She had several slaughter bots in tow, but I worry it won't be enough for all the void sent. You better hurry. This was always a bit tricky to navigate for me. Trying to remember where... Oh, that's right, I got... Never mind, I don't have to worry about it. Bum 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 bum. Oh, but... Oh, there we go. I wasn't formally locked on. No.
Oh, I was never in any real danger, of course. I knew you would realize our plight and rush to our rescue. Aetherius is likewise plagued with void scent.
Such adorable Benoist.
If only we'd prioritized further development of the void scent slaughter bots, we could have stemmed the tide ourselves.
Void sent slaughter bots.
Oh, what a tremendous demonstration that would have been. Irrefutable proof that I was mankind's staunchest ally and the greatest lubberate to ever live. I can practically taste the praise. Fortunately, I was able to activate the brands. Should any more void scent emerge from the gate, they ought to be confined to the crater.
Well, that's good.
Unless, of course, the void gate begins to expand of its own accord, or some gargantuan monstrosity tries to barge through. I don't foresee any major problems.
You had to go and say something, didn't you?
Oh, nope. We're doomed.
There you are.
Oh, what the? You're here too?
I left the data in Shale's capable hands and teleported here as soon as I heard. And ere you ask, I made sure to bring the key with me.
Okay, good.
Then the real threat yet awaits us.
Tis Gorbez's domain beyond the Void Gate. I wonder how he and Zero are faring.
Yeah, because Gold Peso and Zero are now friends. And it's reacting.
By the 12.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Oh shit. Ignite the
They're headed your way!
Let them come.
Oh, okay, we're back here. Hi, Zero. There's gold bez.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to help. Visit felt long overdue.
only you could be so carefree amidst all this. May as well make yourself useful.
That's right.
The gate's sheer size appears to have made it a tempting target.
What the?
Enuo, a dread void scent risen from the benighted depths of the ocean. They kept to the confines of their domain while Zeromus endured. No longer, it would seem.
Ah, I see. So this guy was just always here while Zeromus was here.
Discovered a path to the Red Moon. They wasted no time in making the journey.
Of course. More void scent.
Leave the void scent nearby to us. You take care of Enuo.
Mm-hmm. Count on me.
Facing this many foes calls for a more familiar approach.
Wait, what? Ah. She can switch jobs too.
Void scent can change their form at will. Both light and darkness are mine to wield.
Gotcha. You know, it's funny though, because I recall that not everyone is able to do this, if I recall.
From the void, than darkness itself.
Confirm Zero is the warrior of Light Shard. See, it's funny because I remember a lot of people thinking that it was Golbez. And now I'm calling my 7 fuckos.
Who dares face me? A mere mortal.
No, it would make sense knowing the Zero was also Xena's void scent. Yeah.
Hast thou come in search of power? Renown?
None. I'm just here to kick your ass.
I fight to end this world without end. All who stand before me shall fall.
What's this music? Oh, I'm vibing with this. The Unmaking, now accessible. I'll see how long this takes. Actually, I'm curious, how many of my friends are online playing at the moment? Ah, not many. Damn. I'm eager though. This boss looks cool. Also, yeah, this music is so good. If I recall, this is the final boss theme to Final Fantasy V, if I'm correct, right? Wait, this is your favorite Dawntrail boss? I'm eager to see why. I'm eager. I am curious how many more quests I've got, how many more patches I've got, how many more quests I've got left before the patch is over, though. Because we've been going for about 2 hours now. Obviously about like 20-something minutes of that was like Dawntrail discussion, but yeah. How much longer? Come on! Hop already! I cannot wait for, just to talk about it a little bit, right? I cannot wait for, the cross data set. They're opening up the data centers, basically. With, I think it's starting with later this year, if I recall, like sometime in August. I'll give you a bit. It looks like it's about to pop. We just need 2 more healers. I don't want to have to unqueue and then ruin it for everybody else, you know? They could die in my dungeon! Oh, if you're still back there, you still had a bit to go then. Also, I am curious for when, obviously, I kind of ruining it for myself a bit. Oh, you're on the moon with Sage for this, but you're at work. Do I really want to? All right, I'll unqueue. Let me know when you're available, Chiel, just so I can talk a bit. But yeah, it's funny because FF14 seemed so restrictive before, but now they're opening up basically everything to player expression. On top of, hey, you might just be getting rid of long ass queues for certain people because like they're opening up the data center stuff. So now it's like you don't have to sit through 30 plus to an hour plus waiting times for certain things. But you're here already, this is also where I stopped? Then get back on, you! Get back on, Bat! Okay. But yeah, no, so far I've been super enjoying the story for this. I'm surprised that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Asian lady that's pulling open these void gates. But what I was gonna say was I am admittedly curious to know, I'm curious to know where Estinian comes into all this, given that if you look right over here at the Trail to the Heavens poster that I have up there, Estinian is there along with Alphino, which is who we're going to be palling around with for Evercold, so I'm just waiting for the day they get to add the right stats and crazy deep cut like Coolix. Oh, that'd be so cool! But also, isn't Coolix's theme just the Final Fantasy IV battle theme? You know, ba 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 ba. there was an next pack to do it, it'd be in Dawntrail. I think so. Employing is also attempting to intervene, but I will not allow it. Can't believe it. I'm over here waiting for some dudes. This is a really good mix though. I like this. I actually don't think I've ever heard much of Final Fantasy V soundtrack outside of Just checking some stuff for the time being. Oh. Smash. Come here, you. Now I just wait for Cheel. Also, why is your ninja still level 75? Oh wait, no, that's Samurai, isn't it? I'm stupid. That's Sam. That's Samurai. Also, just to reiterate, I do appreciate that for a large majority of this patch so far, they just have not used any of the older music for like cutscenes. It's mostly been new stuff, and that's like, whoa, man. Are we past the days where Machinations is like is like used incessantly? I hope so. Because that's always been a big issue with me with FF14. Ugh. Yeah, no, unironically, for this entire patch so far, I haven't heard Machinations. If anything, they've largely been using a lot of their own music for it. Which is good. Match it dead. I also want them to stop using a lot of the other Shadowbringers music, just because I feel like Shadowbringers is like, you know, really good with a lot of its music choices outside of the Machinations stuff that it does, but I much prefer it using its own music as opposed to, we're gonna reuse the Emmett Selk theme to imply that something creepy is happening. It's like, could we not? Red Moon. Oh, it says you're currently watching a cutscene, my bad. I thought you were already here. I've been waiting here for 30 minutes at this point. No, it's not even 30 minutes, like 10 minutes at most. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. Ah. We're already at 2 hours and 18 minutes of streaming. Red Moon, you said moon. Oh, now you're on the red moon. Alright, actually, give me just a sec. I'll be back in just a moment. I gotta go grab some stuff real quick. I'll be right back. Whoops. Anyways, I come back with saltine crackers and a bottle of water. I needed something to munch on. The water. Let me drink some more water. Okay. Which one of you is it? Fix your goddamn gear! Fix your goddamn gear! Mine's too. What do you mean it's mine? What's the level requirement for this? 755. Mine's 770. What's my thoughts about Dawntrail? I tell you what. Just because the opening the opening section of the video was a bit of a mess, I'll make my thoughts known a bit more concise once the stream is over, because obviously it'll be a bit before we get back into finishing up this storyline with I think 7th September is when the next patch drops that has the next part of the story. So I'll be sure to kind of go over my thoughts on Dawntrail as a whole once we've wrapped up, with the opening serving as like a recap of Dawntrail, and then the ending sort of serving as, oh, and this is what I think of Dawntrail as a whole, because I feel like that's appropriate. And then of course, if you can't catch it live, I'll just cut it up into little bits and pieces of videos that will be going out over the next couple weeks, because I figure I can make those on the shorts and just like all around videos. Yeah, Dawntrail story ended in 7.3, but obviously there are some bits and pieces that Shield, disrespectfully, I am not relearning crafting after a couple months hiatus just to make you gear again. I hope you have an extra 2 million kill. Holy shit. Admittedly though, and this is the part that sucks, I always feel like this always disincentivizes people from playing current content because of the whole item level thing. You're broke AF? Then for now, Chiel, just so I can get the stream moving, I may have to boot you from the party for the time being, just so we can get the stream moving. I don't want to have to be waiting here for a while, you know? We've already been waiting a bit. If anything, Chiel, I'll still do it with you later once you're ready, but just for now, I gotta get the stream moving. Like, as cool as this song is, we can't be waiting here forever. If I had more of an audience at this point, I would be reading super chats. That's how these streams go normally, don't they? Bit of downtime. Start reading super chats. Got off the game with no materials, I say. You need to check. Oh, that's a hard truth. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's probably too pixelized. Someone in the novice group chat just said, "Summoner barely counts as a caster." Ooh. Ooh. You had to use all your mnemonics. 755 achieved. Ah, shit! Well, hold on. Now we're withdrawing. Hold on. Now we have to add him. How far are you in your streaming career that you'll sell out? Are you? No, not quite just yet. Let's try again. Yeah, Summoner fell off. Also, how far are you in your streaming career until you sell yourself out? Wait, how far in your streaming career until you sell out are you? Treasure, fix your fucking English. Not that far in yet. And before I start a stream before we begin with the gameplay, I'd like to open with a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Also, out of curiosity, what was the name they said? Aw, damn! Look at that! They skip over the dialogue with the ancients. But that's what I wanted to hear them say. Ethos? Just out of curiosity. Oh, we're ready to go. I'll look it up in a minute. I am curious to what that could mean, though. Sovereign of Knots, Annuo. Let's go. All right. Who's pulling? Let's go.
All who dare oppose me shall quake before the silken dark.
Alright.
Be still.
Okay. That just does damage. Oh, spread out.
Accept your downfall.
I see. Why did everyone die?
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you?
Gio, I like how you said that. Oh. What are we doing here?
Future.
Oh, Zero stealing her spotlight again, is she?
The underlings are no more. Now to deal with NOO.
Life and death rendered meaningless.
Light, protect us.
Nice.
I will not yield my domain.
Light powered by darkness, cool.
Void
vacuums grow in number. So it's going this way.
The void's power is mine to wield.
Multi-stack.
Behold the truth of this world! Accept your downfall.
Oh, I'm dead. Is it just outrun the orbs? I'm guessing so.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still.
I'm gonna have to definitely do this boss a little bit more because I like it, but I feel like I'm missing something here. Shit. Right off the bat with a stack marker. That's not good.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still.
We're struggling with this fight, man. Oh, Jesus.
Behold the truth of this world!
Man, this is tricky. Tethers.
All who dare oppose
There is genuine fear in my heart when a new unseen tether appears. They're throwing new mechanics at us. I appreciate it. We have to actually have to learn new things.
still. Accept your downfall.
I see.
Doth the yawning with not tempt you? The void consumes. Naught will endure.
Here's this part.
I breathe through the darkness. Let the light guide you.
You must break free.
There you go. Oh, yeah, Circle X, we've already seen this.
Life and death rendered meaningless.
Light, protect us.
I will not yield my domain. Such is the power of the void.
Alright, there we go.
Shall never cease to be. My power is absolute.
I see what the trick of those balls is. Get away from them as they're tracking you, and then just make sure that their trajectory as they're coming back doesn't hit anybody else. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Right.
Be still.
There we go. And now these stay around him. Oh!
Be still.
I missed that one. God damn, bro!
The void's power is mine to wield. Perish.
Come on, we got this.
Behold the truth of this world. Accept your downfall.
Just make sure those orbs don't hit anybody on the way. Ah, they got shield again. Never mind, you're good? Alright.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still.
Almost. Ah, shit, I'm right in the crosshairs for that. Ow! There we go. Ooh, that was tough. That was tough, but that was good.
Sealed away.
Oh. You hush, Neuvern. Hey, fireworks. That was fun. That was legit really fun. Get turned into a marketable crystal, idiot. Balloon.
I'm glad you came. We would have struggled to face Enuo alone. I presume you journeyed here to prevent more void scent from passing through the gate.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I did.
With Enuo defeated, there are none left in this realm who pose a serious threat. I dare say the problem is resolved.
Or is it?
Nothing comes to mind. Why'd you ask? So the breach wasn't limited to the Void Gate. For better or worse, precious little has changed in the 13th since the Romus fell. Have you noticed anything unusual?
I know not the reason events have unfolded this way, but there is, perhaps, an explanation as to why the Void Gate and the fissures opened.
What would that be?
Here, in my domain, even the slightest change is keenly felt. When the gate opened, I sensed not the workings of some external force. Rather, it felt as if the barrier between our worlds was weakening naturally, moment by moment, until the two came to meet.
And you think this weakening could be happening elsewhere?
Yeah, it's literally Hydaelyn's will being undone. Now that she's dead, the reflections are all kind of coming together.
What of Radzatan and Garlemald? Eulus took mercy upon the interloper. Whether Void Scent or Garlean, we all share the same longing for home. Should we meet, I will gladly offer them aid. Please tell Eulus as much. Wait, how exactly did you get here? No mortal could traverse the Void Gate in its current state.
Well, I did it with my MacGuffin. And that...
And this path of yours is still there. I cannot see it.
Oh! Only I can see it.
Nor does it reveal itself to me. Perhaps the path serves only the key bearer.
Interesting.
So it is not a means to travel freely back and forth. A pity. I would have liked to see my friends again.
Aw. See, I would have... Obviously, I know that the void is... Oh, yeah. It does. No, we're back in Final Fantasy IV land. We can bring back the void by simply giving them the tacos that solved racism. I hadn't called upon darkness in some time. In truth, I find a light a better fit these days. Nice. Ever since you left, we've been roaming the void in search of individuals who would join our cause. Although we returned to the Red Moon after sensing Inua's presence, rarely do we linger in a single location. However, if the interloper you spoke of does intend to seek me out, it might be wise to return to my domain. Why don't you join us? With Inua defeated, the source should be in no imminent danger. Good, we'll try to wait for you by the crater. Now, given I'm aware that I think we go back to Mordona at some point during this patch. Oh. Remember traveling by Nisrock, which reached the right. Igayorm herself crafted. Right! It was Igayorm. It was Iggy that did shit in the 13th. Though it was not always so, many who live here now have chosen to do so because they support the cause. Indeed, if our numbers continue to grow, we may require more territory. And Iggy became Gaia, right? No, because Iggy was a separate Sundered-Asian. Gaia was Lawgriff? Lawgriff was Gaia. There are many in this domain who still fear me. I shall remain here to avoid needless provocation. Sounds good. Yeah, when I'll say what's going, it's just like the tacos. I just thought, yeah, no. Look, it's thematic on brand with like what they're trying to do with Garlemald. They're trying to kind of get people together over simple things, right? And in this case, you know, she said it could be as simple as sharing a simple meal together that brings you together, much like in Tyrol, but she wasn't meaning it literally. I imagine you remember these. These transmitters we used to receive light from the first. If memory serves, they work by channeling excess ether left in the wake of the flood of the Crystal Tower. Using the tower's cross-rift travel capabilities, the light is then conveyed onto the 13th into these devices. I have a mind to use them now, but they'll need to be set in an elevated location. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, Igayorn was La Habrea's cousin who we killed. Sorry, I couldn't help but notice those rock formations. They just look very odd. Ah, there we go. There's your reused music.
Upon activation, these transmitters will shine with light from beyond, sent courtesy of our ever-watchful friends.
Also, I don't know how I never noticed, but
they will serve as beacons in
Zero here is pale as hell.
Seek me out.
Look at all that light. There he is.
I did not expect to see you here.
That's right.
I am Zero, and this is my domain. 'Tis a safe haven for those who abhor conflict. Among those gathered here, many aspire to restore this world to how it once was.
Such a thing is possible.
Indeed. Though how long the endeavor will take, I cannot say. But for those of us abandoned by death itself, what do we have but time to try?
Definitely you can die.
Very well.
Pity win.
The slightest ample proof your comrades spoke true. However long it takes to restore our world, you shall have my aid.
And you shall have mine.
Alright. Give me just a sec. It would seem Euless' intervention has helped forge a new bond. Thank you for bringing the word to me. Yeah, it wouldn't have been... Thank you, reused Kefka model. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure they've done that a few times with Kefka. I know they did it with, with the Arcadian. I know they did that. Absolute Tyranny, that's the guy.
Would you deliver a message to Euless for me? Tell him that we're making progress towards rebuilding our home. And I hope that he is too.
Long live the king, protected by his almighty right.
Will be safe here.
The crystal containing Zeromus has been passed on to our allies in the First.
Oh!
If Enuo's Memoria might serve them in restoring their world, we shall likewise consider its transfer.
Dude, that's crazy. We turned a whole ass person, a whole ass void set into an NFT.
How much simpler
and we're gonna send them over to the First.
to aid one another in our respective fights, were it not for these boundaries between us. Safe travels, my friend. We take comfort in the knowledge that you're out there fighting too, wherever you may be.
Hasta luego.
No luck, I'm afraid. It appears he's not in Mare Lamentorum.
Dude, that must have been so crazy. We literally just vanished off the face of the earth for them. Hi, guys.
Wait. Is that...
Hello.
God, you had us worried. You suddenly disappeared. We didn't know what to think.
Honestly, here's the thing. A lot of Dawntrail, for a lot of the story, the characters, like my Scion buddies, they generally felt just very kind of like cardboard cutouts of their former selves. This already feels like a very nice return to form.
Abruptly ended. We surmised you had a hand in that, but never did it cross our minds that you were fighting alongside Zero and Golbez.
This golden path you said you traversed wasn't visible to us either. Nor did we hear a voice. Ethos. Might this be the key's true name?
While many mysteries remain, for now, I am glad to learn the state of affairs in the 13th. Golbez's suspicion that the barrier twixt worlds has begun to weaken. 'Twould certainly explain the surge in fissures manifesting in the source.
Yet what could be behind such a phenomenon?
I don't know. Oh shit!
And who might you be? Not a void scent, I'd wager.
Ah.
Greetings.
Bold of you to introduce yourself like this. Very bold.
I am Helmarut of the Asians.
Yeah?
We are your sworn foes, I know. But on this occasion, will you not put away your arms?
Oh, what the?
I wish only to talk.
I like her accent, by the way. Also, here's the thing. This theme, I think, is appropriate. The only other Asian that has ever shown his face to us like this, out in public with their friends.
Thank you for affording me a chance.
Bereft of the unsundered, We were under the impression you and yours no longer had cause to continue your activities. That you should reveal yourself at this juncture. I assume you are the one who bestowed Calyx with the knowledge of summoning and the reflections.
And it would be.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, there's Calyx.
Was it necessary to reveal my present form as well?
Yes, it was, you little shit.
Calyx. So he succeeded in transferring his memories after all.
Fling him into the void. Tell me, Calyx, how do you feel around me?
Be at ease. Even were I to occupy a combat-oriented vessel, I would not have the ability to defeat you.
You don't say.
You destroyed my plan, my life's work. I have naught to replace it, nor will I ever regain what I once had.
Seriously, dude?
If you wish to speak, Halmarut, will you not tell us what it is that you hope to accomplish?
As you know, our star Aetheris was sundered into 4 and 10 shards in the time of the Ancients. As the will of the star, Hydaelyn perpetuated this unnatural division for millennia. And in the wake of her passing, nature has begun to reassert itself. As a wound knits itself together, the star seeks to become whole once more.
Cause and effect, how about that?
Yes, it seeks to rejoin with all of its shards. Unlike the one we Ascians attempted to orchestrate, however, the star's rejoining will afford mankind no special treatment.
Oh.
All life and matter will be condensed into a single whole, and remade for a new beginning. A complete rebirth. Aetheris will return to the way it once was. Hundreds of millions of years past. To a quiet and peaceful time. Long before the light of mankind was kindled.
Oh shit.
Supposing for a moment we believe you, how can you possibly know all this?
I mean, it just makes sense.
It is an inevitability that I have foreseen since time immemorial. A future that awaits should creation be freed from the influence of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. The star is tolerant to life. It holds no grudges, and neither rages nor weeps for being sundered. Yet by the same token, it is indifferent to life's survival. No amount of devastation and death can compel it to stop the wheels of creation from turning.
You know, funny enough, this reminds me a lot of the original intention behind FF7's ending.
The earth shakes, and mountains spew fire. Floods wash away the fruits of labor, and icy winds freeze and starve. Countless perish as nature runs its course.
It's a natural extinction.
So many seeds of life have already been lost. Yet in spite of this, people continue to believe that the morrow will come. But it will not. For nothing lies beyond the solstice, when all creation is reunited. When that day comes, every last trace of mankind shall be erased.
It sounds to me then like what the Ascians were trying to do is basically, we want to keep ourselves alive while rejoining what Hydaelyn messed up, essentially, right? God, you know, in retrospect, man,
I cherish man's journey.
Is what Hydaelyn did a mistake?
His innocence and being made to live with suffering, he has forged ever onward. Strong, even as he is weak, his is a proud tale in the history of the star. It would be a shame for that tale to end. For all to wither and die, when some might yet survive. Would you not agree?
So she's trying to propose an Ascian rejoining so that some may survive.
If a natural rejoining doth lead unto the solstice...
Yeah, exactly.
My intent is to preemptively rejoin the worlds.
Yep. And that's what you were trying to do, you little shit.
It was for this very purpose that Halmarut recruited suitable collaborators from the Reflections.
Wait, from the...
Individuals like me, who would willingly doom another world in order to fulfill their aspirations. The Winterers, we are called. And if you and yours seek to protect all life, then sooner or later you shall have to contend with us.
Suddenly the name makes sense.
Even if everything you claim is true, what you've done, Calyx, it's unforgivable.
That's the thing. Do you value the life of an individual or the masses?
I don't ask that you be pragmatic, nor do I seek your approval.
Yeah, no, she's like, we're gonna do this anyway.
Familiarity with other reflections, 'tis only natural that you are averse to our methods.
Exactly.
But there is one irrefutable fact that you must understand. Should we take no action at all, the solstice will come, and no one will be left alive. No one. Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
Wait!
Huh. Well, then. All right. One moment you were sitting before me, and the next you'd vanished into thin air. Thanks to you all. The boats have been eradicating the gate lies sealed once more. There's been many area peep from the crater, though I can't help but notice none of you seem to share my enthusiasm. Is something wrong? Something's very wrong. Oh shit. Eileen made no mention of a natural rejoining. I had to consult the records to be certain, but not before the linking of distracting the voice, especially. Oh man, they're doing it again, man. I don't know how they do it, but it feels like, how do I put this? Obviously, just to talk about Dawntrail just very briefly, my general thoughts are just that the first half is kind of a nothing burger. Like, it really does feel now, especially that the first half of Dawntrail was really just there to waste your time with Wook. But it feels like everything to do with the Ninth and Calyx now is way more relevant given what's set up there, you know? Trail to the Heavens, this last quest. The implications of the solstice and the winter schemes, as well as our approach moving forward, will take time to consider. To that end, I believe we should gather and speak in person. And by we, I mean all our fellow Scions. For a change of pace, why don't we convene at the Rising Stones? I'm sure Tataru and the others will be happy to meet us in there. A fine idea. In many ways, our return is long overdue. No doubt we could all use some respite after Golem, but I trust there are no objections. To the Rising Stones! Also, I saw that. I see that Ethos is one of the titles that you can get. Oh, this music brings back memories. Nary, a thing has changed since we last gathered here. No doubt Tataru is chief responsible for the prevailing state of tidiness. Speaking of whom, she has a great many of our comrades on our own route. Let us wait for them a while longer.
Long it hath been since last we gathered here.
I will always love the implication that people are talking in this place,
Order's dissolution,
but they're all like silently yapping, and then someone talks, long has it been. Just the reverb on their voices. It's like, you can't tell me all we're talking all quiet.
Full glad am I to stand in such esteemed company once more.
It's gonna be so funny if going into Evercold, we basically just return to the status quo of not disbanding the Scions. Especially given that Graha just joined us, right?
Apologies for our delay. We're reporting for duty, as bid.
Nice.
This is everyone that we could round up on short notice. The others are still en route.
Just turning my Banui ears off.
We weren't able to make contact with, but we're working on it.
Of course Estinian would be out of contact.
No doubt his link pearl is buried at the bottom of his bag.
Knowing him, he'll turn up when we least expect it.
I am here, I got lost.
Now, as much as I'd like to savor our reunion, Tataru tells us there have been developments. Will you apprise us of the details?
It's more Asians, can you believe it? Though it is kind of funny, right, that an Asian would use their abilities to recruit people to basically, you know, do this. Nice. We are improving. We are getting cinematography.
The Winterers and the Solstice.
The veracity of Halmarut's claims remains unclear. Yet it cannot be denied that, in his bid to convert the living into endless, Calyx was privy to knowledge of the reflections and more.
Mm-hmm. It all makes sense.
And the Winterers are formed of others, like him.
In light of the recent Voidsent incursions, I believe it would be wise to treat the solstice as a genuine threat. The problem is how to deal with it.
Both the source and the reflections are home to irreplaceable life. I would protect them all if I could. But if doing so means ushering in complete annihilation...
We're gonna have to consolidate.
Then what can we possibly do?
My immediate thought would be to basically evacuate as many people from these reflections into the source, but I don't even know if that would be viable.
I wonder, was Hydaelyn aware of the solstice?
Given that we had no knowledge of it when you journeyed to Elpis, you couldn't have warned Venar. So it is
I have a plan.
She was unaware. But in the course of sustaining the Sundered Star, she may have glimpsed this eventuality.
Do the sundering again? I can't imagine that Hydaelyn didn't know about this, but given that her entire goal was, I don't know, man, it's tricky. I honestly don't think she had any way of knowing. Given the way things end off in Endwalker, you would have thought, oh, by the way.
Not even Hydaelyn could be expected to foresee everything. And with
just imagine you hear the song, "We'll come and we'll met," and then it just ends with, "By the way." It's not over.
It is we who must find the answer. We who live in the here and now.
She intended to split Zodiark, but I don't think she was aware that if she ever were to kick the bucket...
Perhaps we could take a recess? Oh, I dare say everyone could use a rest.
I don't think Hydaelyn knew that if she were to kick the bucket, indeed, the reflections would start rejoining.
Food for thought.
But she would feel the pull more than anything, yeah.
Ere I forget, Heron, I believe you should keep the key, Ethos, in your possession. After all, it seems that is one mystery I am not destined to unravel.
You know what? That's a good point. Maybe she figured that we'd have more time. Alright, time to chat with people. It was by no means an easy decision, but as the solstice is now a paramount concern, Alizé and I have opted to formally withdraw from our efforts at Garlemald. After all, anything we can do to protect our world will also serve to keep the Garleans safe. Euless and his comrades are already working towards a brighter future of their own accord. Honestly, I'm more worried about us. It's so difficult to see the path ahead, but hopefully we can get through this and return to Garlemald with our heads held high one day. Indeed. In the meantime, let us prepare for Euless and the community. We prepare a letter, sorry. We mustn't let despair stay our hand. After Urianger and I went off on our own, we decided to spend some time exploring Zak'Tarol. We never had the chance to visit during the Rite of Succession, you see. We journeyed east through... God, these stupid Tiroli names. Loazenilheta, before heading up the coast to the frigid northern reaches, where they revere a storied beast of the sea. The excursion only served to reinforce just how diverse Tirol truly is. We also met with the Wallaki! Though we had not the time to study their arts at length. We were privy to several indulging demonstrations. Would that we could have indulged our curiosity any further and traveled to yet more distant lands. For better or worse, pragmatism tempered our wanderlust. Suffice to say, we still have plenty to see of the continent. I should very much like to return given the chance. Wuklamat will return! Judging by your guise, Clements, your studies must have been productive. Indeed, I have more or less mastered the fundamental principles of Charlian astrology. At one point I considered exploring other healing arts, but decided to persevere with a more focused training to better leverage my skills on the battlefield. I don't think I'd be much use on the battlefield these days. I can scarcely hold my bow steady and let alone hit a target, so sorely bereft of brotherly administrations as I am. I knew you still required constant supervision. We two haven't changed in the slightest. It makes me wonder how our colleagues that couldn't join us today are faring. Globe is spinning Enuu's memoria in his hand like a sausage is going to... Zero. Check out this cool hand trick I just learned. Let me out! Because I realized the gravity situation will accomplish reports and do the science. That's why Tataru was so quickly apprised. Thanks to you, we were able to make haste to Garlemald. While circumstance and duty may keep us apart, we remain bound by common purpose. Indeed, may that purpose continue to guide us now that we stand together once again. Colton and I have remained in Corvos to monitor the situation among the Garleans and the Corvosi. Though seldom smooth sailing, in time the region settled and we were able to return. I understand the Garlean community has made great strides in improving relations with other peoples. Hearing that, I feel renewed zeal for resolving the issues in Corvos. Then perhaps you'd like to hear more of the Garleans' accomplishments from me and the twins. It might stoke that fire even harder. Alright. It seems everyone has much more to discuss with one another. Anyway, you're overdue for a proper break. The peace and quiet will help you think. Make yourself comfortable in the dawn's respite. And with that, we're done. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. Heart of Ember, autumn tide.
Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit.
It's quite the dilemma to put on us.
Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
I detest evenings such as this. Too bright, too stimulating. The mind distracted by the inconsequential.
Who? Hello? Oh.
You needn't be so wary. I merely come to offer information before my departure.
You know, I should point you across the fucking hallway, you little shit.
Halmarut and I will soon cross the rift to observe the enactment of another Winter's plan. Our destination is the fourth. A world locked in ice, whose lands are blanketed in thick clouds. In order to survive, man has fled to the skies, using great magics to establish new civilizations.
So this is how we're setting it up. What? I'm getting excited! Alright, Goku.
I have my own designs I would see realized. Nothing more. Believe me or don't, as you like. For all I know, you lack the means to follow us anyway. What Halmarut said to you earlier. She suggested that dealing with the reflections might satisfy your ambition. But is that truly so? You have seen battles beyond counting, have defeated even the fear of death. Is there some conclusion that you seek, no matter the cost? I will share with you a truth. We Winterers each have an ambition that we wish to fulfill. To that end, we may share information with one another, but we do not necessarily share the same beliefs. Just as you and yours decried my actions, I find those of my fellows objectionable. Be that as it may, it is the culmination of our lives' works that we would bring to the world. Fruits born of undying devotion, daring aspiration, and unwavering ideals. No matter how we are reviled, no matter what we must steal, our actions will be vindicated by those who abide in the future we create. In your benevolence, you may seek to save everything and everyone. But once all is consequently consigned to oblivion, your noble deeds will amount to nothing more than folly. For no living soul shall remain to judge them.
A little shit to the end, huh? Alright. I'll take your words as they are. It's a lot to think about, though. Are doomed to mend. How turns the key to Winter's End? All right. And I think with that, we're basically done for the time being. Now to wait for part 2 in like half a year. No, not half a year, in September. That's how long? When is September? Let's see. We're at the tail end of April, so May, June, July, August, September. That's like 5 months. That's like 5 months. That won't take forever. Wait, 7.5.5? Yeah, because I think we still had like a small patch after 7.5.5, and that one's like around like December-ish. Because 8.0 drops in January. But yeah. So, with that coming to an end, I think it's time that I kind of go over just my general thoughts on Dawntrail, just as a closing off, just for the sake of posterity, and so I can make a video out of this later. So, let's switch over to... Oh, no, not that. That's done and over with. There we go. So, to quickly go over my thoughts on Dawntrail, just because well, actually, hold on. Let me put on some music, actually. 1 second. Before I do any of that. Playlists. Dawntrail discussion playlist. There we go. I'll tell you what, I like, let's put on this right here. There we go. Because I like this theme quite a bit. All right. So, to talk about Dawntrail for a little bit, since now that I'm done with the patches and I'm all caught up. Dawntrail for me is a very mixed bag of there is good in there, but there is a lot of messy storytelling stuff with it. I went over it in the beginning, but a lot of the first half of the expansion in Tyrol feels like you're wasting your time. And I don't know if that was necessarily the intent, given how stuff with the 9th picks up. Because once you enter the 9th, it's practically as if you're playing a completely different game with like what it's covering and what it's like trying to tell you story-wise. So narratively, I feel like it's appropriate that a lot of people just didn't really vibe with Dawntrail, given that they felt like way too much focus was being put on Wuklamat and her character, and you and your Scion friends were more or less kind of being ignored, if that makes any sense, right? That being said, I do feel like Dawntrail is the start of something really good, as post-game for Dawntrail -1 patch, 7.1 was pretty fucking weak, all things considered. -1 patch, a majority of everything Dawntrail past once you get to Solution 9 has been kind of incredible with its storytelling. And not just storytelling, but I also feel like it's the peak of Final Fantasy XIV's combat prowess, where a large part of me felt during Endwalker that the game was getting maybe a little bit too easy, given that you were supposed to be at a very high level of gameplay at that point, right? It felt like, yes, I'm a casual player, but I want you to be throwing some kind of challenge to me, if that makes any sense. And the only dungeon that I really felt that did that in Endwalker was the Tower of Zot at the start of Endwalker. It was the only dungeon that I really felt properly gave me a challenge, and even then, I felt like what came immediately after it with Zodiark and the Tower of Babel was maybe a little bit too easy. So the fact that I picked up Dawntrail and I started having a bit of problems with not problems, that I started having a bit of difficulty with some of the dungeon structure and some of the bosses was a good thing. In fact, the biggest compliment I can probably give this latest patch outside of story is that trial with Enuo was really fun. It was genuinely challenging trying to learn all these new mechanics that they're throwing at us. But on top of that, I also just feel like I also just generally feel that outside of story stuff, what Dawntrail is setting up to, in that everything you work towards in the story part, right, is now coming undone thanks to you taking out Hydaelyn in Endwalker, which to me is the ultimate form of cause and effect, in the way that it's like, what, did you think that would have no consequences? Taking out Zodiark had consequences in Unleashing the Final Days. So what consequences will killing Hydaelyn have? And it really does feel now that having played Dawntrail to the extent that I have, it does feel like the first half of that expansion was sort of a waste of time as we got to the actual important stuff with Calyx and with the 9th and all that stuff. But so I'll be very curious to see how that generally goes. But in conclusion, Dawntrail is very messy as an expansion. I absolutely understand why some people just don't vibe with the first half of the expansion, and why some people don't vibe with the with how much it focuses on Wook and stuff like that. But I feel like it's a very important stepping stone into where FF14 will be going next, because I feel like the second half of Dawntrail really does kind of just lay the foundation for a lot of the stuff that we're going to be encountering once we get to the 4th, and even further likely. In the sense that we're going to be running into a lot of civilizations that feel like they have everything fixed, but in reality, there's a lot more hidden in the surface that we need to uncover, and why we need to convince them to join our side. Or maybe go up against the Winters and whatever plan they've got going on. But yeah, that's my general thoughts. I think the first half of Dawntrail was meant to emulate the feeling of the calm before the storm. I would agree if it weren't for what we were actually doing in Dawntrail. I feel like if stuff with the 9th was more natural... I feel like if stuff in the 9th was more properly alluded to in the first half of Dawntrail, not as many people would have issue with suddenly going to a large techno cyber swathed world where technology is abundant. I feel like if that were to be more naturally introduced as opposed to the way that it is introduced in Dawntrail, it wouldn't be nearly as much of an issue. That being said, their issues are understandable. I fully get why people feel the way they do about the Dawntrail as an expansion. But I don't hate it. I don't like the first half. I really do like the second half. I feel like there's a lot of really poignant stuff in there with like life and death and learning to accept that your loved ones are gone, learning to kind of grieve, learning to move on. I really, really do enjoy that. Except the Golden City and the Yakui were supposed to allude to it, and granted they were very interesting bits when they came up. Yeah, and then they didn't really do anything with them. That's the interesting part, that the Golden City just turned out to be like, oh, it's a portal to the 9th that was already there. But it's like, okay, then explain how, like, I don't know. It's a bunch of really weird shit with Dawntrail's first half that doesn't really mesh together all that well. But I have confidence that whoever is writing the stuff for like the 9th and all the stuff with current content, they know what they're doing. And I have confidence that going into Evercold, things will be more cohesive narratively, and I'm very eager to see that. But just so I don't get interrupted, right? I like Dawntrail. I don't like all of it, but I like a decent chunk of it. I feel like a lot of it could have been done better, but what the parts that are done really well really excel at what they do. And I feel like it's proper FF14 content that really makes your head think. It makes your noggin think about what's going on, and that's good, because I feel like that's what FF14 generally kind of strives at the most. So that being said, I think it's time I call it for now. It's getting pretty late and I got to get back to work on stuff. As much as I would like to promise that there's another stream coming on the horizon, I can't quite promise that right away. Obviously, I want to make more use of this VTuber that I made, so I might stream more often depending on. We'll see how it goes. But that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch y'all whenever the hell I'm live next. In the meantime, if you're not already subbed to my buddy Stent on stream, either on Twitch or on YouTube, give him a shout. Stent is a really awesome content creator. I did a lot of assets for him. I'm actively helping him manage his own channel. So if you don't already follow my buddy Stent, I'll be sure to link him in the description once I post this video in chunks. So for now, I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.